Waita hola, thank you for tuning in to See Why It Matters. I'm your host, CY. This isn't necessarily a full episode, it's pretty much more of an interlude. Don't know if you're allowed to even do interludes in these things, but I'm allowing myself to do an interlude. Just to sign off Women's Month and welcome in Heritage Month, which is just going to open a door for masculinity and heritage or culture. So that's just something to look forward to. But to try and sign off Women's Month, gonna end it off with a South African proverb. Tiwa watinta bafazi, watinta imbokodo. Or as 2020 would have it,
ba ile ba pina bomme bano ba re wathandi abafazi wathandi umgomo.
I'm willing to take this as the 2020 version. I think we just needed a bit of an update on that South African proverb. You strike a woman, you strike a rock. So that's my quote for the year. But on the rail, how I wanted to sign off Women's Month on See Why It Matters is just to say this story from when I attended a talk about a year or two ago. We could still do that, attend talks. And there was this lady who came on and gave a really cool breakdown of comparing industries and businesses that have included women versus those that have not. And safe to say that the industries that had more women in decision-making positions fared way a lot better than industries that didn't. And even businesses, more so in South Africa, with informal businesses, like for me, it goes without saying. First thing that comes to mind when I think of the informal economy or businesses is abomama bamavich. Like those businesses have fared way a lot better. So even in instances when women have not been empowered, they've done way a lot better, you know. So this isn't necessarily a battle of the sexes to find out, you know, who's better, men versus women. I think we kind of know who is, but just equal up. So, but the take home point from the speaker was that industries that have included women have fared better because when you add women to the conversation, to the positions, you give yourself the opportunity to deal with things that you wouldn't have been able to deal with by yourself. Because if we're all trying to fix it as men, we don't always get it right because we tend to think more or less in the same way. And so this just was to highlight the power of empowering women, of inclusion. And so I want to say to the women, big ups to you for having occupied space and not just take it up just for the sake of taking it up, but for kicking ass. And as we sign off Women's Month, I want to say from here going forward, you know, in the instances that we don't give you space or don't invite you to the table, you know, you have all the proof that you can create your own table and boss it. So big ups to you. And linking it back to See Why It Matters as a platform for masculinity and all things gents. If there is proof to say that women fare way a lot better when included in businesses, like how crazy is it to think that you could probably fare way a lot better if you empowered your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife? Like something to really think about and to really reach on to where we're going for the next probably 2 episodes going forward on heritage and cultures. Like I think a culture that would be really cool to cultivate is empowering. And because cultures change, they adapt, they for the longest time cultures have in a way suppressed women or have put women on the sideline in certain instances, whether intentionally or as a byproduct of certain decisions. But this now gives us an opportunity to really do way lot better. So that's how I wanted to sign off Women's Month and usher into Heritage Month. And with that said, what I wanted to lead with is a question about, for the gents who are very culturally inclined, how has culture influenced your masculinity? How has it shaped the way you see manhood? Because for me, I was raised in a very secular way, so culture it's not my biggest influencer. So in that regard, I can clearly say I'm a banner there. But to anyone who's had that influence of culture and heritage on how they were brought up and masculinity and manhood, how has that influenced your view and how you've determined your own masculinity as you grow up? That's the question I'm going to leave with on this interlude. And it's only fair to also pay homage to someone who has given us something to believe in, a great legacy, and an amazing movie where we all huddled up as African people from all corners of the world. And yeah, I just want to sign off this episode or interlude by saying